Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Jen and I have a son called Ralph who is 2 and 9 months. And we have really gone through the terrible twos and the toddler tantrums. If you have seen any of my vlog videos, you may have seen a very public meltdown in a shopping centre. So I thought I would just share with you the ways that I cope with them and deal with them. I'm not a perfect mum, I'm not a parenting expert, I just have a very strong-willed toddler and I've dealt with my fair share of toddler tantrums. So I've learnt the best way for me to deal with them, so I just thought I'd share these ideas with you. So one of the best things you can do is stop a toddler tantrum before it even starts. Easier said than done, but if you know your kids' triggers, you can plan around this. So if you know they're going to have a meltdown because they're hungry, take snacks out with you. If you know that they're going to get cranky when they're tired, like, plan around this. Don't do activities when you know they're tired. Do them around their naps and do any errands like earlier on in the day. A big one for us is when Ralph's happily playing, like at the soft play or doing an activity, and we need to change what he's doing. And that transition from one activity to another can be a really big meltdown if he's enjoying himself. So I find if I just give him like a real gentle heads up, like 10 minutes before we're going, give him that warning that we're going to be leaving soon, another one, 5 minutes to go. And it just means that by letting them know that things are going to change, it gives them time to adjust to it rather than react. Another big one for us is when we're rushing. If I'm rushing to get out of the house in the morning, I want to try and get his shoes on or clothes on, coat on, that is a real big like meltdown for us. He will just play up for me. So I find I'm the one that needs to be more organised and get ourselves ready like 10 minutes early, and then we don't have that last minute rush. If you can sense a toddler tantrum coming, then you can try distracting your child. The idea is that you get them engaged and interested in something else and they forget all about the toddler tantrum that they was just about to have. I still find a really good way of doing this is just to look out the window. I'll ask Ralph if he can see any birds or planes, or I might find a toy that he's not played with in a while, or just something really silly and fun. He likes it when I pull silly faces or do a silly song. Like, he really likes this one that I do at the minute called like boom shaka laka laka, boom shaka laka laka. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing, but he really loves this and he finds it so funny and he tries to copy me and say it, and it's just a really good distraction that we can then just move on to something else without the meltdown. So toddlers are quite independent little creatures. They think they can do a lot more for themselves than they can, and they really don't like being told what to do all the time. So I find a really good way to stop a meltdown is to give Ralph some choices. Now I'm winning either way because the two choices that I give him are things that I want him to have, but the fact that he's picking makes him feel like he's in control. So for example, I'll be like, oh Ralph, what would you like with your dinner tonight? Would you like peas or carrots? Again, either doesn't matter to me. Or if we're out and I want him to hold my hand crossing the road, I might say, oh Ralph, would you like to hold mummy's hand or hold on to the pram? Again, I'm winning both ways, but he feels like he's picking and he's in control. I think as mums, it's really easy for us to just have this automatic response that we say no to everything. Like, no, you can't do that. No, get down from there. No, you can't have that yet. But the more I say no, the more I think that I'm actually triggering toddler tantrums. So I'm learning to pick my battles and say yes a lot more. So for example, if Ralph wants a sweet, but I don't really want him to have one, I'll just rephrase it and I'll say, yes, you can have a sweet, but after dinner. This is working really well, and I do feel like I'm avoiding a few more tantrums by saying yes a lot more. Stay calm and keep your cool. Easier said than done, and we all heard this and we all know that we've got to do it, but it's easier said than done if you're in a public place. But if you lose your cool, you're just going to end up in a power struggle and the whole thing will escalate. I find if I can try and keep talking softly, this helps me relax and it helps me to stay calm, and it also shows my toddler that I'm not letting his behaviour get to me. A toddler tantrum is a cry for attention, so don't give any and it will end quicker. I'm learning to do this and this really works. It is so hard ignoring your child, but if I answer him back or shout at him or try and negotiate with him, I am just giving him the attention that he is demanding. So I find that I will just make sure he's safe, stay in the room that the tantrum's happening in, and I will just carry on doing what I'm doing. I will block that noise out and I will carry on cleaning or talking to a friend or whatever it was, and he soon realises that I will not give in and that tantrum does end quicker. Once the screaming stops and your child shows signs of calming down, give them your full attention. I know it might be hard after all that screaming, but really try and speak calmly and softly and really praise that calmer behaviour, and it's likely that they will stay calm. when a tantrum's really bad, and especially if you're out, the best thing you can do is sometimes just get out of there, go to a new location, step out the shop, step out the restaurant, because sometimes that change of location can really help snap your child out of that tantrum, or if not, it will just give them time to calm down before you go back. I do use timeouts, but I generally try and use them more for when he's naughty rather than just because he's having a tantrum because I've said no to something. So if he's kicked me or punched me or hit me during a tantrum, he will be going in timeout, and I'll put him somewhere really boring, probably in front of a plain wall or a corner of the room. I've even put him in the corner of a shop before when he's done it when we've been out, but I will tell him why he's there. So I'll say like, Mummy's putting you in timeout because you hit me. I need you to calm down and think about what you've done. I'll be right over there and I'll talk to you once you've calmed down. It's recommended that you do not put your child in timeout for longer than 1 minute per year of their age. So Ralph's 2, so he'll go in timeout for 2 minutes. And if he moves from the spot that I've put him in, I will not say a word. I will pick him up and just put him back in that spot. And once the time's done, we will talk about it after. If you give in to a toddler fit, they just know that they've just got to kick and scream long enough and you're going to give in, and that is going to be recipe for even more tantrums. The best way to deal with the toddler tantrum in public is to treat it exactly the same as if you was indoors. It is really hard, but put a big smile on your face, stay calm and act like you're in control. I did this recently because Ralph had a major meltdown in the middle of a shop. He was on the floor kicking and screaming. I was so worried what everyone was thinking about me and thinking that I was raising some crazy like demon child, but I was like, I'm not going to give in this time, and I stood my ground. And do you know what? When I was the parent and I was in control, I had 5 other mums come up to me during that time and go, oh, been there, done that, doesn't get any easier, or I was there with my kid last week, like don't worry, we've all been there. And I was just like, wow, like the support that I got from these other mums was just amazing. And I don't expect that to happen every time, but it just proved to me that when I'm the one in control, people actually respect me, and so I don't really worry about what anyone thinks anymore, because likelihood all the other people watching are parents that have been there before. Talk about the tantrum. After every tantrum that Ralph has, I always take the time to give him a big cuddle after, tell him that I love him, and talk about what's happened. Like, he's going through all these emotions. He's angry, he's frustrated. He doesn't really know how to deal with them, and I think a lot of the frustration is that they think you don't understand them. So I'll talk like really simple words and I'll acknowledge that emotion. So I might say something like, oh, you were really angry earlier because Mummy said no, but I said no because it was dinner time and that's why you wasn't allowed a snack. By telling him the emotion that he's feeling, that's going to help him deal with his emotions and understand maybe why he had the tantrum in the first place, and also help to then stop it happening in the future. My last one is to not reward or punish a tantrum. What I mean by that is, if I'd said to Ralph no, he wasn't allowed to go in the garden, and then he had a big tantrum over it, I would still say no to going in the garden. But if I'd previously said that I was going to take him to the park, then I would deal with the tantrum, discuss it after, and once he's calmed down, we would still go to the park. So there you go. They are all our toddler tantrum tips and tricks. Well, it was a bit of a tongue twister, but I hope that you found some of these tips useful. They've been really helping us and really stopping the tantrums quickly. Like, toddlers are always going to be pushing boundaries and testing you, and you might go through phases of toddler tantrums, but these tips have really helped us. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, then please subscribe to my channel and remember to press that little bell so you can be notified of any other videos that I do. But good luck with your toddler tantrums, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.